Welcome to Show Pop. I have fun breaking down the shows everybody's watching. Today, I'm breaking down I Love LA's Season 1, Episode 2. Here's how things are going to flow. I'll start with a quick thematic overview before moving into my raw, unfiltered commentary and real-time reactions as I watch the episode. I will wrap things up with a concise breakdown of the recurrent themes, behavior patterns, and relationship dynamics that really stood out. Think of this like the after show to your favorite show. Watching one of my videos is like talking on the phone with your observant, intuitive, and always honest best friend, and it's a lot of fun. Grab a cocktail or a mocktail and let's get into it. So, Episode 2 deepens the focus on boundaryless relationships and transactional friendships as Maia resumes managing Tallulah, whose chaos and legal trouble follow her everywhere. Tallulah's public fight with influencer Paulina escalates into manipulation, fake apologies, and a tense dinner staged solely to avoid criminal charges. Meanwhile, Tallulah's presence continues to strain Maia's relationship with her boyfriend Dylan. Alani's privilege and distance from consequences are further revealed, while Charlie is abruptly fired. All right, so now let's get into the recap and commentary.
Okay, so I am getting ready for the first time to watch the second episode of Season 1 of I Love LA. I gave a breakdown and a solid foundation in my first video that goes over episode 1. So be sure to check that video out to kind of get a full background and get to learn all of the characters and everything like that. Just so that we are clear moving forward, I'm not going to be reiterating a lot. I am just focused on how the relationships between the friends and the characters continue to build and how dynamics continue to change. So I will just, moving forward, just make notes about what I see in regards to that. Now that we kind of have an idea of what everyone's personality is like and the role that they play within each other's life in their own atmosphere, if that makes sense. Okay, so I'm about to get into it. And just a heads up, the main character is Maia. Then I would say the second main character is Tallulah. And then we have, I forget his name. There's a gentleman, he's a friend. There's Alani, she is the black female friend who's kind of earthy. And then we have Alyssa, the boss. And then we have Maia's boyfriend, and I forget his name. So here we go. Okay, so as I'm watching the recap, there was something I missed in the first episode. Maia accredits herself for Tallulah's success. I guess she managed her before, and the fallout must have been between I guess the mixture of friendship and work relationship. I don't know exactly why they fell out, but they fell out. But before they fell out, it seems as though Maia was managing Tallulah, and she accredits herself for where Tallulah is now as a star and in her career. So she pretty much is saying she blew Tallulah up, and that if she's done it before, she can do it again with other clients. So what it's looking like is Tallulah is now a client underneath the Alyssa 180 brand. I don't know what exactly they do. I'm still trying to figure that out. And now Maia is going to be managing her. So that kind of gives you an idea of the tier that this is working in. Okay, so we've got Alyssa at top. It's her company. Her Alyssa at the top. Her company is Alyssa 180. Then we have beneath her Maia. She's going to be managing and overseeing and helping the career of Tallulah. Okay, so keep that in mind. So a blonde girl walks in. I don't remember her name. She gets into a spat and pretty much accuses Tallulah of of stealing her bag, her Balenciaga bag. Let me just say, Tallulah has a lot of problems following her. I'm starting to notice the the storyline behind Tallulah. I'm starting to notice the depth behind Tallulah. Tallulah's got a lot of problems going on right now as the story is developing. Do you know how serious that is? She has been accused in a public place. In this particular scene, they are at a restaurant and they're discussing Tallulah's career goals. In the middle of this little outdoor cutesy restaurant, she's getting accused and gets into a screaming match with this girl. The girl snatches the bag, tosses all the stuff out. They call each other B words. I mean, it's just a mess, honey. And it's showing that Tallulah is drama follows Tallulah. It appears drama follows Tallulah. Okay. So they're all at one of the friends' house. I'm not sure which friend's house this is. And they're talking about the girl. I will put her name in here as soon as I figure it out. I should have rewinded it and got her name, but I didn't get her name. But we're talking about the blonde girl that Tallulah just got in a fight with. So they're sitting around looking at, I don't remember whose phone, but they're just talking about the girl so bad. Okay. Just talking about how, her fashion is outdated and whatever she's doing to make her money. It's clear that the girl is an influencer. And how they're saying all her little charms and the things she makes is ugly and just very superficial. The Alani tried to give the girl a compliment and they were like, everybody else was like, no. So very gang, very, looks like autonomy and having your own thoughts in this friendship group is not particularly valued, at least what I'm noticing so far. It appears that everybody wants to be on the same page. If we don't like her, you don't need to like her. That's what it's giving. I find it very interesting now how buddy Maia and Tallulah are now that they have had their little chat, their little spat, and call themselves moving past it, okay? You got to keep in mind Tallulah now lives with, or at least is temporarily residing with Maia. And so in this other scene, Maya's attempting to seduce her man, honey. She's feeling a little frisky. And she's trying to seduce her man. And Tallulah knocks on the door to come in so she can, or to ask for some sweatpants. And this dumb heifer, Maia, okay? Oh, child, okay. I'm trying to be patient, but she's just stupid. So she just decides she's like, oh, come in. Tells Tallulah to come in. They get in the bed. They start jumping up and down the bed. The poor man looked like he was about to I don't know. He looked like he was a mixture of Maya's boyfriend. Looked like he had a mixture of he was going to bust out of his skin because, it was hot, but also why is this girl in our bed? And he just looked confused, baby. Okay. He was stressed. But I just find it interesting. How do you go from blocking each other? And I know there are some friendships that are like this, that you can just, you'll block each other. You're mad at each other 1 minute. And then the next day it's like that never happened. But it seems very toxic to me. It doesn't seem like a healthy dynamic to me. It's very strange to me. And it's something that I'm going to continue to pay attention to as these characters develop throughout the show. Because this friendship, it doesn't seem to have any depth, at least from where I'm sitting and from what I see. You know what I'm really finding hilarious right now is that Tallulah reminds me a lot of, I feel like everybody has this type of friend, right? The friend that's always got something going on. They're always into something. Somehow they're always finding themselves having a problem or in some type of trouble or, just drama. And in I would say in this is a kind of friend that they don't, on the outside, it doesn't seem like they're looking for these problems. It genuinely doesn't seem like they're like want to be drama filled, but somehow drama always finds them. That's how Tallulah, that's what she gives me. That, and I feel like I have friends like that. I know friends of my friends who have friends like that. I feel like so many people can relate to that kind of friend. So in this particular scene, Maia is chatting with one of her coworkers, just kind of having a conversation about boundaries and friendships. And Tallulah's texting her and she's talking about, oh, if Paulina puts out, oh, Paulina is the blonde. So now we know what the blonde's name is, okay? Paulina. And she says, if Paulina puts out a warrant for me in New York City, can I still work in LA? Oh, don't worry about it. Never mind. That's what she texted Maia. Tallulah did. Girl, what? If you don't, I would be like, girl, if you don't get off my phone, leave me alone. Because, the Paulina is, she accused her of stealing her, I think that was the Birkin bag, I believe. So it's just funny. I just feel like that part, her character, as I'm watching it develop, it is becoming more and more relatable because there are really people I know 100% that behave like this, and it is hilarious. So Alani is a princess and appears to come from money. Her dad he appears to be a movie producer or in the film industry somehow, okay? I don't know yet. We're still moving through the scenes and through the episode, but that is something we should keep in mind because in this particular scene, she had something delivered to her dad's business. It's a very glamorous business, very chic office, or it looks like it's an office. I don't know if it's the whole building, but it's definitely a very large office. And it's very clear that her father is in a business that is doing very well financially. Okay. So we're still in the same scene where Alani is in her father's office and she walks into a meeting. There's, I think, at least 7 individuals sitting around a table handling some business. And she comes in and they're confused as to why she's there, but they're respectful. And, she decides to go ahead and sit down to see what they're talking about. It's very clear that she doesn't come often. Her official title is VP of Creative Projects, but it's very clear that she is not participating on a day-to-day or even a weekly. It seems as though these people do not see her very often. Okay, so that meeting was very awkward, and Alani kind of admits, well, I'll say this. She was in an inappropriate relationship with an adult. And I know it's humorous. This is a humorous show, but it's kind of dark because she said she was in the 8th grade and the man was 28. It was very weird. That was a very interesting, very creepy scene, but we learned a little bit more about Alani. Oh my God. So, oh God, I got to get this guy's name. Maia's boyfriend, okay? I'm gonna try to get his name, you guys. Bear with me. Maia's boyfriend walks in. It seems as though he's coming home from work. Maybe he's coming home early from work. And he walks in on Tallulah. Tallulah is in their bedroom. I'm assuming she thought that they were going to be at work and we're going to be gone from the apartment for a little while. And Tallulah is pleasuring herself, okay? While she's on the phone with, I don't know if that's her ex, honey, or somebody else, baby. Okay. And Maia's boyfriend walks in. I am so embarrassed. That is so embarrassing. But let me ask y'all the question. Would you do that? Would you bust it all out like that while you staying with your friend? Well, you're pretty much couch surfing, okay? Tallulah's pretty much couch surfing. I understand we have needs, baby. Okay. There's nothing wrong with that. But girl, I don't know. Y'all tell me what y'all think. Would you do that at your friend's house? And you're staying with them and there's no like closed door bedroom. You don't have a designated space to yourself. Let me know in the comments. Okay. Oh, child. Y'all, Tallulah is something else. She gets busted in on by Maia's boyfriend, and then after he gets shocked and closes the door and he's all flustered, she gonna yell out, "I'm almost done." This girl has no couth, okay? That's what the old folks used to say. She has no couth. She has no. I told y'all in the first review slash recap slash breakdown, Tallulah doesn't have any boundaries, baby. She just doesn't get it at all. Okay, so the male friend that's like the main cast male friend, his name is Charlie. It appears he makes his money by gossip or something like that. In one of the episodes, I don't know, that might not be correct, okay? Don't quote me on that. But in one of the earlier scenes, he was working with a lady, and the lady was expecting Zendaya to be a part of, I don't know if it was her show. They had a lot of clothes, so I think she was a designer. And it appears that he is trying to help. He might be in public relations because he's trying to help the designer. And so he's on the phone right in this particular scene, on the phone with Maia asking for dirt on Zendaya. I'm not really sure why. But I just want to say that his name is Charlie, so that I got to speak it out loud. That way I remember him as we move forward, because he is a main friend that is like a main supporting character, and I do want to remember his name. Okay, so he's a stylist. He was styling the music artist that I was saying in the earlier. Charlie was styling the music artist, and he's gonna lose his job if he doesn't get some tea, because Zendaya didn't show up for the artist's music video. So I think I cut out last time. I just want to say to keep in mind that Charlie, he's very straightforward. He doesn't seem like he deals with a lot of mess. And that's just something to keep in mind about his personality as his character continues to develop throughout the episodes. I just want to say that Maia's boyfriend, and the reason why I probably can't remember his name is because about what I'm about to say right now. That man has no balls. Can I say that? I just want to say that. He has no balls. He doesn't know how to stand up for himself, his household, his woman, nothing. You walked in, this is just my random middle of the episode note, okay? You walked in on your woman's friend pleasuring herself in your guys' bed. Like, I mean, I get it. Probably the generation that's being portrayed on this show is probably being portrayed as more understanding. They let things go. Things are not a big deal. But that's part of the problem I'm starting to see now with the friendships and the relationship dynamics and all that stuff. There's no boundaries. Why didn't you kick that heifer out? I would have been, Tallulah, you got to go, girl. You're doing too much. You popped up on us. We wasn't ready. You have until tonight or tomorrow night, if you want to be nice, to get your ass a hotel. I mean, she's famous. She got the suite off her name. Go to another suite and pretend like it's your birthday, girl. And keep doing it. Just hop around to different hotels, pretending like it's your birthday until they catch on to it. And the hotels start calling each other and saying, hey, this girl's okie dokie nuts. Get creative, girl. He doesn't stand up for himself. He doesn't stand up for his household, and he's forgettable. And I just have to say that. I'm going to try to remember his name and learn it. But I just wanted to say that, y'all. He's just forgettable because he's just so dang passive. I mean, he just lets, even his woman walks all over him. And you letting the friend walk all over you too? Embarrassing. So in this particular scene, Maia and Tallulah are having an interaction. And I just want to say, I'm guessing, like I said, this is a part of the generation they're portraying, but I do find it I do find the lack of boundaries and the lack of ability to be assertive in your relationships. It's disappointing. As it not like as a viewer, not like, oh, I wouldn't watch the show because this is it's disappointing from a human perspective as someone relating. Like, girl, why can't you check your friend about masturbating in your bedroom? So they're having a chat, and it's like, oh, she's like, oh, yeah, I know you were masturbating in my bedroom when you were supposed to be messaging me back about the warrant, that you might have, as Maya is saying to Tallulah, and Tallulah is just brushing her off, and then Tallulah just passively invites a person that they need to do business with, or someone that they want to do business with, over the same night that they're having this. They don't have no, they have, she invites someone over the very same night that they're having this conversation, or evening that they're having this conversation. So that means in an hour or two, this person is supposed to be coming over. And she did not ask Maya. She did not see if it was okay. She did not see if they could schedule it for a later day so that it works for everybody. No, she just said, oh, so-and-so's coming over for dinner. That's the kind of person Tallulah is. Again, showing her lack of consideration for other people. So the the woman that Tallulah got into a screaming match with at the restaurant, that's who got invited over. So I guess they rekindled their relationship, or, apologized or something. And there was a lot of things that went with it, that Tallulah has pretending that she has done all these things in order to be friends with this girl again. So I don't know if she's gaining something from being friends with this girl. I'm still trying to figure all of that out. I forgot her name again, you guys. I should write it down. Maybe I will write it down this time. But I just want to let you know that that is who is visiting with, who's coming over to dinner suddenly at Maya and her boyfriend's apartment, and Tallulah is with them. So it appears that Tallulah has apologized, or is trying to apologize during this party, or this evening dinner, as a way to keep the woman from filing charges on her for stealing her bag. So now it's all beginning to make sense. Okay, they're putting on airs, they're being fake. She said she thinks that they're all her friends, Maya, Tallulah, and the boyfriend at this point, and that they threw a dinner for her. Okay, and the only reason why she is not pressing charges is because they're doing this dinner for her. Tallulah is apologizing, and Tallulah is pretending to be, I think she said either 6 weeks, if it's not 6 weeks, or 8 weeks, but 6 or 8 weeks sober. I can't really be mad at Tallulah for trying to keep herself free, okay, and not get a charge on her name. It isn't right what she's doing. It's not right, but I can't blame her. I really can't blame her. If it were me, I'd do what I have to do to remain free as well, okay? Okay, this bitch, okay? I still don't know her name. I think it started with a B or something. The girl that Tallulah got in a fight with. She's a petty little, shady little something, okay? She's just shading the hell out of Tallulah about her weight, and the reason why her weight was so up and down in New York is because she was doing that, she was on, drugs, okay? So the theme of superficial relationships, the theme of I'm your friend, but I'm really not your friend, the theme of frenemies, the theme of we are only friends if it benefits me. We are only friends if it brings me opportunities. We are only friends if there's a mutual benefit, you know what I mean? Or if I get something out of it. But if I don't get anything out of it, we're not really friends. Or deep down under the surface, you're not really my friend. I'm just doing this to get where I need to go. It's giving all of that right now in this scene. Okay, so this heifer brought the cocoa, okay, because I guess she's not an addict. This heifer, I don't remember her name, the one that got in the fight with Tallulah, okay? She brought cocoa, a huge bag of cocoa to the spot, getting ready to spread it out. So she is very strategic. She's testing Tallulah. She gonna say, oh, I brought this and I gotta get on the plane, so we gotta finish it all today. This is a mess. Y'all, this is a mess, but I will say the show is getting very good. It is getting very good. Paulina. The woman's name is Paulina. Paulina is a fake ass bitch, okay? She giving this whole speech about family and how everybody in that room is family, and she almost got her family arrested. Paulina, if that was really your family, well, maybe. I come from a different background and I'm a little bit of a different skin tone than Paulina. And where I'm from and how I grew up, we don't call the cops on family. We try to handle that mess as family. Okay. So you talking about family and Tallulah is your family, but you almost got your family arrested. Girl, stop playing. Stop lying. Paulina is disrespectful and she's vindictive. Okay. Not only she came in there with a strategy. I don't like her at all. I hope they find a way to get rid of her behind because I don't like how she's moving and how you call yourself a friend, you talking about family, and in the same, just after all that, after you said all that, okay, now she wants to smoke you know what, that MJ in their house. They told her you could take it on the patio. She said, it's gonna rain. Are you crazy? Girl, do you know whose house you're in? Then now she's sort of kind of soft blackmailing Maia's boyfriend, talking about, oh, do your students, because he's a professor at a university. She's gonna say, do your students know that you like to party? And she's saying it with just think of that face when someone is telling you and they're kind of giving you that smirk and you know that they're not joking. Maybe they're joking a little bit, but there's seriousness behind it. You know that there's some darkness behind it. That's what she's doing. Mm-hmm. We can't trust Paulina. Paulina is... that ain't a friend. You won't. And if you know anybody like that, get them out your life, baby, because that's not a friend. Okay? So Charlie gets double stabbed by a woman that's working for his employer, which appears to be some type of musical artist. She told the artist that Charlie was going around trying to find dirt on Zendaya, and she said Zendaya is her best friend, and she fired Charlie. So what I see here is that the writers are trying to make clear that LA is the type of place where you are in one moment and you're out the next, if that makes sense. You're in the inner circles, you're in with the mix, you're in with the the entertainment of it all, and the just the business side of LA, the glamorous business Hollywood like side, but it can be for just a moment. It can go away in a second, if you would. Okay, so that's what I'm seeing happening to poor Charlie. Poor Charlie. He was done so wrong. He was trying to figure out what to do. He was trying to use every strategy in the book. He really did try, but he didn't come out on top of this one. I just really believe Charlie just made the wrong play, and I don't think that there was anything Charlie could have done, just based on what I'm seeing with how things played out with his boss. So poor Charlie, he is now unemployed. His boss, or ex-boss rather, is a little bitch, okay? She gonna ask him for all the stuff back that she gave him, and he's wearing like clothes that she designed, or I guess she's a designer. I don't know what she is. It seems like she's designs. She's some type of artist, and Zendaya's her best friend. She wanted her in a show. I guess maybe the show was a designer or like a walking show. What do they call that? Runway show. But that's neither here nor there. She's asking him for all the clothes back. So he's stripping in this bar looking damn crazy. I would have walked out with all the clothes and told her to kiss my ass. Hell, to hell with her. Tell her to send you a bill. Shoot. I believe that Charlie may have shot himself in the foot and burned a bridge with how he chose to behave and in that relationship. And I can't really blame him because this woman made him strip down and ask for all the clothes off his back right then and there in the bar. He didn't have to give them to her, but she did that. You know what I mean? So she deserved every bit of venom that Charlie wanted to spew towards her. That being said, I wish he was doing so good until she asked for the clothes. I wish he would have held it in. I believe that Charlie's going to have a hard time moving forward finding work because he doesn't know who this woman knows, and maybe he does. Maybe he knows what he did and what he's risking. You know what I mean? It appears that he is someone who knows the game and also is very careful about his relationships. So maybe he's very fully aware. I wouldn't be surprised to find out in future episodes that he's fully aware of what he did and how he was moving and the consequences of that. But I do feel like I just wish he would have just kind of quietly left and didn't burn that bridge, because I do feel like because of the things he was saying to her, he is going to have a hard time finding work moving forward. So let's keep an eye on that as we continue to follow the show. Let's see if Charlie, what his work situation is looking like now that he has been fired as a stylist with this particular client. I don't know how many other clients he has, but we know that he had this one and he was trying to do everything to keep this client. So obviously the money must have been decent. So now moving forward, Charlie's unemployed. Let's see how he progresses through the season. Okay, so I have finally confirmed that the boyfriend's name is Dylan. That being said, Dylan, Tallulah, sorry about the dog in the background, you guys. There's a dog park right outside of my apartment and they can get so noisy. Dylan, Tallulah, and Maia are all stressed about how they're going to get Paulina out of the house. Paulina is in the bathroom. I guess she's having stomach or bowel issues because she did so much, you know what, nose candy. And they're trying to come up with a plan. So Tallulah and Maia come up with a plan to out crazy the crazy. Child, let's see how this is gonna go. Oh my God. Okay, so I feel so bad for Dylan right now. They made this plot and Maia did apologize. She didn't have time to explain to him what was happening, but they are badgering him both. Well, not really Tallulah, but Maya's badgering him. She's pretending that, she's a jealous woman and he's looking at Paulina and that he saw Tallulah doing, you know what, having fun, pleasuring herself earlier. And so he's just getting beat down, okay? He is the center of he's the person that's getting beat up in the midst of this whole out crazy the crazy, okay? So he's the center of attention. I guess not the center of attention, but the problem or the thing that they're going after. And it's it's hilarious, but I feel bad for him because he really has no clue and he's just so confused. Bless his little heart. Okay, so this at this point they have outwitted, or they believe they have outwitted Paulina, okay? Now I just want to say the lengths these ladies are going to get rid of this girl, it's doing too much. You're gonna, embarrass and humiliate your boyfriend, Maia, to help your friend out. I'm going to be looking at you much closer moving on in your relationship with Dylan, because I don't know why the hell you would do some stupid shit like that. That's stupid. And it's inconsiderate, it's mean, it's childish. Okay? I can expect that from Tallulah, but you didn't have to join up with her ass. Tallulah, you know what? You could have just said, you know what, girl, this ain't worth it. You know, if you want to press charges on me, press charges. Sometimes we just got to own up and take accountability, baby. You stole that girl's bag. You admitted it. You know. Why are you putting your friend through this? You're beginning to put strain on your friend's relationship, and it is all over Dylan's face in this scene. And my heart goes out to him. But Dylan, like I said earlier, get some balls. If you got to get rid of Tallulah, put her out. This girlfriend of yours making a fool out of you, check her. And if you got to get rid of her ass, you better. You got to walk out the door on her ass, you should. I don't know if it's there yet, okay? But Maia is wrong. And Tallulah appears to be having a very childish and negative effect on Maia. And it's affecting her relationship at this point. So Paulina finds an ounce of warmth in that frozen over heart of hers and decides, as she's getting into what appears to be a Uber or a car service, she has an epiphany and decides that she wants to give her Birkin bag to Tallulah. Okay, feels like Tallulah. What I'm getting from this scene is that she feels like Tallulah, has been a good friend in this evening, and she's going to give her her bag. So she walks up to the door, and as she's getting ready to leave the bag at the door, and she hears all of them in the house talking shit, okay, about her. So she doesn't knock on the door. She doesn't come in. She hops back in the vehicle, seething, okay? She's pissed at this point about what she has heard, and she realizes that they played her and did all of that just to get her out of the apartment. So the episode ends with Paulina hopping on her social media to pretty much go at Tallulah. I'm guessing it must be very similar to what you kind of see sometimes like the YouTube bloggers do. Or I don't know if that happens anywhere else in any other communities. I'm really not sure. But you know how how sometimes on YouTube, the bloggers who cover like gossip and stuff, sometimes they go at it amongst each other. So I'm guessing bloggers maybe. Oh, I guess celebrities do it as well. And then sometimes different levels of celebrities. I don't know if like Insta models do it or any other type of worker who works in this type of industry do it. That was my best example, but I'm just trying to give you guys an example of what we're seeing. So Paulina hops on her social media, and it looks like she's about to, give some tea and talk mess about Tallulah, which could affect her moving forward, her career. So I just want to end with some notes that I'm noticing. So on a surface level, we clearly see how superficial this episode is making not only Los Angeles, but the people that live in it and operate in it, especially in the, I don't know, influencer. I think these girls are influencers in the influencer industry, how they're portraying them to be very superficial, very surface level, conniving, backstabbing, things like that. No true depth or real friendships. On the deeper end, on the deep side, the more side that if you're not really paying attention, you might miss it. The friendship between Tallulah and Maia is having a strain on Maia's relationship. It starts here. I don't think it started last episode. I don't feel like it started they started in the previous episode. I think Dylan could have got over what happened in that episode, okay? But now it's very clear here in episode 2 that even though Dylan handled it well, even though Dylan laughed about it, the joke, and kind of made they were going back and forth about how Maia, in high school, she did theater and stuff like that. But I get a feeling, I get a sense that Dylan is starting to get frustrated just by his facial expressions and the way he's carrying himself in some of the scenes, and especially towards the end. He's starting to get frustrated with their antics between Tallulah and Maia. And I wouldn't be surprised to see the tension continue to grow as we move through episodes. Okay, so that is the sum up that I have for season 1, episode 2 of HBO's I Love LA.
Episode 2 is really about what happens when no one enforces boundaries at home, in relationships, or socially. Tallulah's behavior is extreme, but the real issue is that everyone enables it. She creates chaos, crosses lines, and takes over space, and no one meaningfully stops her. Tallulah isn't a villain so much as a chaos magnet. Her behavior feels unmanaged rather than malicious, and the damage is real. Being around her forces a choice: set limits or get dragged into the mess. Maia and Dylan choose the latter. Maia's pattern escalates here. In episode 1, she was passive. In episode 2, she becomes complicit. She knows Tallulah is the problem, names it, and still sacrifices her relationship to protect her. Dylan becomes the emotional casualty, not abusive or toxic, just slowly shrinking as he loses control of his home and partnership. Paulina represents a different kind of danger. She's calculated, polite, and strategic, using the law, social leverage, and family language as weapons. She's not chaotic, she's predatory. Every relationship in this episode feels transactional. Apologies, dinners, and friendships are all about access and self-preservation, not loyalty. LA reinforces this logic through Charlie's firing. One mistake and you're out. No safety net, no forgiveness. Nothing resolves by the end. Everything escalates. This episode ultimately shows how people confuse tolerance with maturity and politeness with safety, and how proximity to chaos and access slowly erodes everyone involved. And that's all I have for episode 2 of I Love LA. If you enjoyed this video, please like, comment, share, and subscribe. In the meantime, vibe out to the outro music, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.